Third World. When and how was Third World formed, and what's the purpose of the group?
Well, in 1973, myself, I'm Ibo, the keyboard player, and Kat here, the lead guitar player. We were coming from another group, and we wanted to have a group that was creating original music, and music with a meaning, and a message. So we started Third World. The other members of the group joined us later. That is Richie on bass. Carrot, the percussionist, he plays all the percussions and drums, and Kete, Funde, and that kind of thing. William Stewart is a trap drummer, and Mr. Bonner Ruggs is the lead vocalist. Came later.
Where do these brothers come from?
All born in Jamaica, most from Kingston. I am from the country.
How did the word, the name Third World come about?
Well, Third World was really a name that the group took on after several discussions with people who were friendly with at the time in Jamaica, watching how the music business was going, and being that we had formed the group, we wanted to name it something relevant, so that is how we really took on that, because at the time the group was formed was in 1973, and at that time was when Third World politics and Third World thought was reaching a high point, in terms of its reality, because people in the world were just beginning to really recognize Third World people, and so the group was just named that in its right time,
Its right time.
Yeah.
I like that. Reggae music. What is reggae music, and what are the origins of reggae music?
Well, reggae music is music of the king, music of the creator. It is born in this time in Jamaica out of the experience of the people's struggle for their identity and their survival. Born out of the ghetto areas of Kingston, born out of the country parts of Jamaica. A lot of people hear about the ghetto part of Kingston alone, but there have been many reggae singers who have been from the country of Jamaica, very many reggae musicians who have been from the farmlands. Yes? And it is born from the drum rhythms surrounding much of the spiritual groups of Jamaica, and associated with the popular culture of the people.
Well, you talk about country and a city. Is there a difference between the reggae music? I've heard of hill reggae and commercial reggae.
Bob himself was born in the country,
Yeah.
Bob Marley was born in the country, really. He came to town after a good spell of living, really, on the farm, so to speak. It's just a feeling of the man, really, because Toots is born in the country too. It's just a feeling of the man. It's not, the music it can't be polarized to one particular feeling in an area or anything like that. It's a thing that every Jamaican feels,
From one end of the island to the next, they feel it.
Well, it's a universal music, like you said.
Yes,
A number of persons are associated with Rastafarian. Now, there is a strong relationship there, but what is the relationship between Rastafari or Rasti and reggae music?
Well, as I said, a lot of the rhythm in the music is associated with the spiritual rhythms of the people. Yeah? And the rhythm of the Nyabingi drummers. The Nyabingi drummers is ceremonial Rastafari drum. The rhythm of the Nyabingi drummers has influenced the reggae music immensely. It has been a heartbeat pulse, to the music, and also the spiritual message of Rastafari. Teachings of His Imperial Majesty have helped the people to see certain conscious attitudes that we should take as a people, and that is in the music. The message.
Could you say something about the spiritual message of reggae music, the spiritual message of Rastafarian?
Well, the message is really, you see, spiritually speaking, the best thing for a man's spirit is to be not satisfied, but is to be calm, and loving, because when you can transmit that from one person to another, it's a very great thing. So this is why reggae music, you find most of the vibes we deal with is love and harmony, and a lot of vibes about unity of people, because that's very important, especially amongst black people, in a world today when other nations are so unified and yet the black nation is so disunified. Not just in terms of that we're scattered all over the world, but in terms of just how we approach each brother, because other races that are scattered, they relate to their brothers very, very heavily and very seriously, and we must learn to do the same thing, whether we deal with Islam or whether we deal with Rasta or whatever, we're all dealing with the same thing. It is only one God for us all, really, but we may call him differently, but he's ours. That's what really the spiritual message behind the music really is,
Alhamdulillah, brother. When did the movement start in Jamaica?
Well, the movement has been documented by historians to start somewhere in the 30s, but I know that movement has been there from time, because the Middle Passage experience and the slavery experience, there have always been conscious ones to guide the people. And those conscious ones, I see them as Rasta or Jah people. Yeah. So I would say I know that the movement was always in whatever time. But in the 30s there was this prominent coming forward. Like Marcus Garvey, Howell, and certain other leaders.
I imagine because of that, there's a different kind of language that's used with the music and in the music, certain kind of words. Could you talk about the language and the significance of certain words that are used, which just sound like a lot of sounds to blacks born in America, in this country, but I'm sure they have a significant meaning beyond.
Well, I'm sure everyone knows what Jah means by now, right?
I don't know. I don't think most of our audience knows.
You don't think most of the audience knows? Well, all right, well,
who might be watching this?
That's one of the most widely used words within reggae is Jah, and what that is a chant or a cry unto the Lord, Jah, Yahweh, Jehovah. It is written in the Bible that way as J-A-H, Jah. So when we say Jah, what we're really dealing with is God Almighty. So when we say try Jah love, what we're dealing with is try the love of God.
How about some other words? Babylon.
Babylon is a situation that exists right now. A lot in the West, but throughout the world. A system that keep oppressing the people, keeping back the truth. To make profit off of the people, poverty, profit off of the people that are working force. And not giving the people their equal rights and justice and what is truly theirs. The system of Babylon, to maintain a small clique.
Many times, and beyond the music, a number of persons have difficulty dealing with certain images for one reason or another. For example, the way hair is expressed and worn, which is associated quite oftentimes with reggae, and persons who practice Rastafarianism. What's the significance of the locks? I don't want to use the word dreadlocks because I don't think speak of love so much.
Well, it is there. I'm pleased, because there was a time, and still in this time, when a lot of people dread the locks, which is exactly what we...
That's why the term was really given it.
Yeah. And it is really just locks because it's an ancient way of man's hair, the way man used to wear his hair and woman. And right now in this time, a lot of people use the locks to judge a man wrongfully. Yeah, some people can't get a job because people have this whole attitude about the locks is slovenly and unclean. And yet, somebody could cut their hair and be very neat in a suit and be a robber and a thief. It is the inside man. So I come in this time with this natural way to show one that it is what is in the heart of man and not the outward appearance of man.
Well, reggae is catching on all over the world, and I imagine as things catch on, the spirituality becomes less with some groups and becomes a fashionable sorts of commercial sorts of enterprise. Do you feel that reggae is going in that direction right now?
Well, the music, you see, the music will attract people, and people will come and they will pay money to come into a show or to buy a record, right? And that helps some musicians to live and help other musicians to learn to play. And, you know, the commercial system is of a balance, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't find that. Mm-hmm. It's not a blatant prostitution, no.
Well, I don't come to fight flesh and blood.
We had to keep the money circulating. Let's talk about some of your music. How many albums have you made? Has the group made?
So far, 7 albums. We did first one is just called Third World, and we have one called 96 Degrees in the Shade. Then we had Journey to Addis, off of which came a fairly successful single commercially. Now that we found love.
The story has been told.
The story has been told. And then Arise in Harmony. Well, we moved on to one called Let's Rock the World with music. And finally, this one, You've Got the Power, and which we have Try Jello, written by Stevie Wonder.
You have the album there. Yes, I noticed that Stevie Wonder, I think, produced Try Jello Love and plays acoustic piano. How did the Third World hook up with Stevie Wonder? Get together with Third World? How did the reunion come about?
Well, it's almost a storybook story, you know, because from 1969, Steve came to Jamaica and he did a series of shows. And at the time, myself and Ibu were performing in another band called Inner Circle, and we happened to be the ones who opened the show for Stevie. So we met him then, and then time went on and things changed, and in 1976 we got the opportunity to play one of the first big shows of our career, and that was the Dream Concert, which featured Third World, Bob Marley and Stevie Wonder. And we met up with him there again, you know. And then in 1981 he, you know, came for Sunsplash, and he asked to jam with us, and we were very thrilled, and we met up with him there again, and things just happened, you know. We always met him up over a period of time.
I see it's been a long, ongoing spiritual love relationship.
Really.
I guess.
And even after we changed bands, you know, it's funny because the first group we were in when we met him, we left that group and we formed another group, and we still kept meeting him up all around, you know.
I guess after a while you say, well, that is the message, you know. We are the message.
Really.
Where do you see reggae going in the future?
Well, if reggae has to keep that positive message going, you know, in the future, there will be other things that reggae will have to talk about to the people. And what I say, the music of the king, so the king inspired the music. The future is guided by the creator.
I suppose most of your philosophy is expressed in the extension of your music, your love of mankind and an extension of the creator.
It's true.
Yes, thanks.
This is Robert Hakeem, and I've been communicating with two members of Third World. It's been a pleasure having you brothers here to share this knowledge and spirituality with us all. Thank you so much for coming, and the best of everything to you in the future. Peace and love, brothers.
Thanks for that.
Appreciate it.
Oh, brother.